Hey guys, it's Marshall Tingle coming to you with your Superior Ag Insurance Ringside Report for this past week of March 9th through the 15th. So another busy week across your auction barns and markets. 23,205 head of cattle marketed across the state of Kentucky. If you compare that to this time last week, we're up about 4,000 head over last week, but if you compare it to a year ago, we're going to be pretty much even on the money. That's 2 weeks in a row where we've sold the same number of cattle this year versus last year. Now, what's going on in this market? This thing is moving right along, and all I can say is, wow. We've seen cattle jump by $10 a hundred for at least 3 weeks now, and it looks like this thing is going to continue to climb, both on your feeder steers and your yearlings. Your grass cattle right now are really taking off, and pretty much all of your feeder cattle as a whole are really taking off leaps and bounds. Again, an extra premium being paid on those weaned and preconditioned type cattle, but across the board, these things are in really high demand. So we're going to call your feeder steers and heifers this past week $5 to $10 higher, some instances sharply higher. And when you see these averages and you see these highs, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, as far as your yearlings, I'm going to say $2 to $5 higher on there, and really had some outstanding trades, especially on some 7 weights. These 7 weights things, they have really taken off in the steers, and your 8 weights as well. So let's talk about these things going in. So your 3 weight steer cattle, they topped off at 477 and a half. That's pretty good. Now let's talk about your 4 weight steers. I want to call them about $3.85 to $4 as an average. You're starting to see more of them trade at that $4 level, but still a lot of them at that $3.75, $85, but 4 is becoming more and more frequent. They topped off at $4.90. That is right there underneath the $5. That's a dime short of what they're trading in the Midwest for. And again, like I said last week, there's still a whole lot more miles between us and there versus them and there. So that's a big difference there. Now, as far as your 5 weight steers, going to call us $3.50 to $3.60 as an average. They topped off at $4.25. That's on 5 weight steer again. That's a really good price. Now, your 6 weight steers, I'm going to call them about $3.10 as an average. You're seeing some of them in that 15 to 20 range, but I'm going to call $3.10 as an average to be safe there. They topped off at $3.55. That's on the 6 weight now. And you had some big 7 weight steers top off at $3.07. So that's what's going on in your feeder market. Now, let's talk about these yearlings, guys. Your loads. I've got a world of these things, guys, so take some notes and bear with me if I read them along because I've got a long list today. Here's 66 head of black steers, weighed 700 pounds on the money, 302.60. Now go up here. Here's 66 head of them, a little bit heavier now. These are going to be 776 weight steers, 299. Check this out. 123 head of them, a big string, 771 pounds on the average, 304.5. That's almost 8 weights, guys, at 304.5. Now get into your 8 weights themselves. 59 head of black steers, weight 818 at 277.60. Here's 56 head, a little bit heavier, 830 pounds on the average, 275.5. Go up here to your mids. Here's 44 head, 831 at 275, and close off more on your heavier side. Here's 24 head, so not a full load, but a big cut of them, 876 pounds on the average at 269 flat. So as you can see, this thing is really rocking right along. Doesn't matter if they're grass cattle or they're yearling cattle or your bigger type cattle, they are gaining some big time ground and adding up to some big time dollars. Now let's compare that to your CME feeder cattle index. So your CME feeder cattle index for the past week, Monday the 10th, 276.54. Tuesday the 11th, 278.71. We gained some big ground there on Wednesday the 12th, 281.25, and we closed off Thursday gaining more ground. The Thursday the 13th, 282.72. I don't have Friday's information yet, guys, but stay tuned to your emails coming on later this afternoon, and we'll have Friday's information to you. But as you can see, this market is really moving forward quite rapidly, and a lot of dollars invested. So if you're interested in an LRP policy, a livestock risk protection policy, there's really no better time than right now. Feel free to reach out to the guys. Call Ian Thomas at 859-613-2453. Call Adam Shoemaker at 859-338-4116, or call Cole Clark at 859-865-2980, or check them out on the web, www.superioragins.com. As always, thank you so much. Enjoy this sunshine. Enjoy this cattle market. Talk to you next week.